All right, everyone, coming up on FTC Top 25, we have 25 amazing teams comprised of your votes from the community. We'll count down the list, give some insights into these teams, have a couple giveaways, and more. So let's get ready for the February FTC Top 25.
This video on fun is brought to you by viewers like you and also in partnership with the following. Discover how Kettering University students engineer their success with Kettering's amazing co-op employment programs where students earn great pay and gain valuable experience. Those accepted into Kettering University can apply for a robotics scholarship providing up to an additional $5,000 a year in tuition assistance. Head on over to kettering.edu/first to learn more and apply.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to FTC Top 25, where we reveal the top 25 teams you voted for. From First Updates Now, I'm Abhas, and joining me tonight are Buru, Sandra, and Arjun, and our producer Tyler behind the scenes. We're excited to have you all back for 2024 and the Center Stage season, and for so many of you to participate in voting for the FTC Top 25. Make sure next month you keep an eye out for when voting opens to cast your votes. We have giveaways tonight from both Andy Mark and Senka Sen, so stay tuned to hear how to enter and win. Without further ado, let's just jump right into our February FTC Top 25. So coming in at number 25, we have Team 14496 Roboctopi from Escondido, California. They were the winning alliance captain at their last competition, setting a California record of 294 points with their alliance partner. And, even though Roboctopi never has like the longest extension or widest possible intake or like anything super crazy like that on the robot, I think every season they're so consistent just because they can always build smooth, consistent, and optimized robots. And I think this is a lesson a lot of teams can learn from them, and especially how well they traverse the field. It's just back and forth, no matter who's in their way. And I can't wait until we get like later into the season because I'm sure we'll see some really neat software enhancements from them. I remember last year they had some really nice computer vision algorithms, so I'm sure we'll see things like that. Baru, what do you think of Roboctopi?
I personally really enjoyed. I also enjoyed our last robot, but this one looks really solid. I think this is one of the robots you drive confidently and just feel really good moving around the field. So yeah, definitely
Yeah,
a really
100%.
strong one.
All right, Arjun, why don't you go on to number 24?
Thank you. So with number 24, we have Team Techno Wizards. At number 24, we have Team 16458 Techno Wizards. At the FIT Central North San Antonio and County Hill tournament, they achieved Inspire, first place, and winning alliance captain. The most clever mechanism is definitely their differential power takeoff, which they use for intake and delivery. They no doubt have an innovative mechanism and are reliable, and it complements the rest of their robot. Their angled slides and virtual 4-bar outtake deposits fast and efficiently. Looking forward to see a lot more from this team in the future.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a year where like PTOs are or like Diffie PTOs are a good idea or could be used more effectively than previous years because doing your and depositing like they're at so different times in the game. So that's really interesting. Hopefully we can do a behind the bot with them or something like that later in the season. But I'm really interested to see how they do at Texas champs. Yeah, Baru, why don't you go on to number 23?
Of course. Team 19049 High Five Robotics from Pitești, from Romania takes out the 23rd spot. They were the third highest ranked team at the Progress League tournament and won the Think Award third place. I honestly love this bot. It has been strong from the start of the season and it stood out as one of the most consistent uh, through all its matches and league meets and finally the league tournament. We also did a behind the ball with them. They talked about what goes into making such a consistent robot. I think they have some pretty neat features in Autonomous period with software to make sure they're placing the yellow pixel right every time, and also their end game. It was from day one, even at a kickoff event that I saw them take part in. Their drone was always just hitting the right zone, and they were hanging from day one. So they're definitely a really good team and have perfected the end game.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. And so, Baru, will they compete again before Romania Nationals, or are now they just preparing for
So
Nationals?
unless they take part in some unofficial event, they don't have any other competitions until the national championship. Although
I
I'm
see.
pretty sure there is something in their exact their city that is going to be, I think, 2 or 3 weeks before nationals. I might be
Hmm.
wrong though. So yeah.
I see. I see. All right, Sandra, let's hear number 22.
Number 22, we have Team 12599 Overcharged. Hailing from Oregon, this team has been making waves. With an impressive OPR of 140, Overcharged has been a force to be reckoned with. They recently earned the Inspire Award and also served as the winning alliance captain at the Oregon Rose City League tournament. The robot features a clever intake mechanism that can swiftly maneuver up and down, ensuring it stays out of trouble during intense matches. Overcharged's highest score to date stands at an impressive 287 points, showcasing their knack for efficiency and strategy on the field.
Yeah, I mean, they were on the winning alliance last year at MTI, so definitely expecting big things out of them again this year. And so far, they haven't disappointed. I think they always have really, really awesome robots. I think specifically with Overcharged also is their intakes. They're always like they're never like exactly what everyone else is doing. This year like they went with the complying wheels on top instead of the surgical tubing. I think I remember in Ultimate Goal like they had the horizontal wheels instead of the surgical tubing. So it's always something different from them that comes out, and it's
Yeah, I'm excited to
pretty
see him
awesome.
this here at
Yeah,
state.
yeah. Arjun, are there like a lot of robots with a similar design to Overcharged in New Jersey, or would you say not really?
Yeah, so I think overall there do seem to be some very similar concepts. I think with this game in specific, we're seeing like a lot of kind of the same designs, but they always have like these slight iterations on top of them that kind of make them different from other robots. So I think the
Hmm.
efficiency standpoint is something that we're seeing very consistently with all the teams.
I see. I see. All right. So in 21st, we have Team 20077, the Indubitables from Omaha, Nebraska. They were the winning Lions captain at their league tournament at the end of January and feature a familiar double wide claw that we've seen from a couple robots this season. They have a stack of linear slides that pivots along with the wrist of their claw, allowing them to drop pixels without the claw interfering. I think this combined with what looks to be a relatively narrow frame contribute to them having a top 60 teleop OPR. Yeah, I think with Indubitables, we can see them on the screen playing this match with just more and more driver practice. They'd fare super well in pretty much all levels of competition. I think depositing is really really simple for them, so there's not going to be like many mistakes made there and things like that, and they work really well with alliance partners. So I'm excited to see how Iowa states goes for them. Iowa's always like one of those states that just has really, really high average scores. I think coming out of it. So I'm excited to see how they do. Sandra, what do you think about the Indubitables?
I think that's a fun name, first off. I Their hand is really cool. I had a robot similar at our league, and just being able to drop one pixel at a time is so useful in getting those pixels to make the what's that called?
Mosaic.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Arjun, you want to go on to number 20?
Sure, I'd love to. So at number 20, we have Team 16417 ROC. The end of the Ontario Provincial Championship with control award and winning lines first pick. The robot has a pretty innovative outtake, sweeping pixels from the stack, bottom pixel first, and then flicking it into the outtake, which deposits via slides and virtual forebar that pops out seamlessly. This paired with the consistent at times makes quite a formidable robot on the field, and ROC is again a force to be reckoned with. Looking forward again to seeing more from this team in the coming time and throughout the season.
Yeah, I remember ROC like last year. It was really hard to find videos for them, and I guess this year it's been a little bit better. But more videos is always helpful. But definitely a very strong team, and I know they've had like some crazy crazy high scores this season. So excited to see if they'll be at Houston. Yeah, Brew, you want to go on to number 19?
In 19th place, we have Team 10644 Cybox from Salem, Michigan. I can't help but be amazed by this robot. They use an arm with 3 joints, which works surprisingly well. They're also part of the select group of teams that use a closed-style mechanism for manipulating pixels with great success. I honestly am impressed with every team that manages to pull this off this well. This seems like just a perfect game for active intakes, so playing it as well as they do with a way simpler mechanism that is a lot more robust. Really is amazing to do. Yeah, I definitely have some
Mhm.
admiration for them, and especially doing this before the end of the year at Michigan State. Wow, just incredible team. Really good job.
Yeah, and Baru, speaking about Michigan States, I think I saw recently that each, like both the Northeast and the Southwest Michigan States have 10 slots each. So, as you said, Cybugs was part of the winning alliance, so they are definitely getting a ticket to
Agree.
Houston. But
Yeah.
the fact that like 10 teams from Michigan, well, I guess 20 teams from Michigan are going is pretty nuts to me. But I'm sure they all deserve it. Michigan very consistently has really, really high scores and just really awesome robots. Um, yeah. All right, Sandra, why don't we go on?
All right. Moving on to the 18th slot, we have Team 12014 Firewires, representing Indiana. With an impressive OPR of 134.5, Firewires has been setting the competition on fire. They recently secured the Inspire Award and also led their alliance as the winning alliance captain at the Indiana South Bend qualifier. Firewire's robot boasts a full autonomous mode, showcasing their dedication to precision and efficiency. Additionally, their rapid deposit arm ensures swift and accurate scoring opportunities. Although we can't, I had a lot of trouble finding their video. Keep an eye out on this team as they continue to blaze their trail.
Yeah, I think Firewires is another team that we pretty consistently see at like MTI, CRI, a lot of off-season competitions. So they always have really strong robots. And looking at this match on the screen, that's a pretty nice alliance of Ice and Firewires. I think that is so. Definitely expecting some high scores from those two robots being together. But yeah, I think in general they're just always a very fast team. So it's nice to see they're keeping that up. Yeah. But in 17th, we have Team 21229 Quality Control. They were part of our Power Play Worlds winning alliance last year, and they've had a strong showing in center stage as well. In early February, just a couple weeks ago, they were the winning alliance captain at the Washington State Championship, leaving with the 12th highest auto OPR in the world. I remember last year when QC was the first team in power play to get a 1+5 auto every single one of their matches at a competition, and like that consistency is really what made them so good. And this season we can see like the same thing. They're always going to get that preload. Well, both the yellow and the purple. They're always going to hang at the end of the match. Things like that just make them so consistent and always doing so well in qualifications. Another thing I think that's really important that teams can learn from with QC is just how versatile they are on the field. They're not the absolute fastest robot at intake from the wing or from the stack, but throughout a match, they'll consistently go to different locations on the field to get pixels, and they're always comfortable when doing it. And just I think that versatility is something a lot of teams can learn from. Arjun, do you have anything to add about them?
Sorry, I think yeah, for sure. I think historically this is a really strong team, and what you were saying before, with their kind of emphasis on consistency as being one of their key points, I think that really furthers their game. The reason why I think as well that they kind of got into worlds, they won worlds, and all that is because of their key point. They really stick towards their themes, and they're always a really strong team overall.
Mhm.
That always kind of goes towards consistency. So I think that's something
Yeah.
that we'd love to see from this team.
All right. Let's go on to number 16 then.
Yeah,
Arjun?
so with our number 16 spot, we have Team 19068 Zobotech. At their most recent competition, they walked away with first place in Motivate, and their outreaches spread learning with CAD design and truly exemplify gracious professionalism. We can see their numerous outreaches on the FTC Discord, where they're really a team that kind of wants to spread their ideas, spread their knowledge, and that's something great to see from teams. This season, no doubt, they had a very consistent outtake and intake mechanism that complemented very well with their robot hanging and drone launcher this season. Their drone launcher was especially cool with their 3D printed one. And I thought that was some pretty innovative concepts that they were coming up with. It'll be very awesome to see what this team accomplishes in the future.
Yeah. So, Brew, you're from Romania. Have you seen them compete yet, or has their robot been kind of private so far?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen them compete, but I have seen their robot. The uh, the stream from that league tournament didn't have a replay on, so it's pretty unfortunate you can't really go back to see it.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty good. I think they were a captain at the league tournament, so I might be wrong on that there, but yeah, they're pretty good.
Gotcha.
I took them a lot, and I think they have something big planned for nationals. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so before we get into our top 15, we're going to have an audience giveaway and thank our show sponsor. Tyler, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna start a giveaway, and then we got another one later with our show sponsor. So this is going to be for our friends at AndyMark, who are giving away a hoodie. So with the AndyMark logo on it. So if you're interested in winning this, type in 20 years because AndyMark is celebrating 20 years for that. Don't forget, YouTube subscribers, you get 3 times luck, and we will draw for this before team number 5. We will start our next giveaway. So type in 20 years. Make sure you are subscribed to Fun's YouTube for 3 times luck.
Yeah, great. Okay, Baru, why don't you go on to number 15 then?
Team 12808 Revamped Robotics from Portland, Oregon is number 15 on the list. They have a really quick and competitive robot. I think the way they're synchronized with their partners is really impressive. I've seen that in a really few amount of teams this year, so yeah, I think that's really important, and they do it pretty well. And you can clearly see it in the matches they play, especially here on the screen. They just go around their partners so many times and just are able to score together on the backboard to get so many pixels on there. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do at
Yeah.
the Oregon State Championship.
Hmm. Yeah, so Sandra, you're from Oregon, so I guess you're pretty familiar with Revamped and Overcharged, who we talked about earlier, and I guess Tober Tech is another really good team from Oregon. We can see them in this match here. So how is it pretty noticeable how well Revamped and Overcharged work together when you see them on the practice field or in matches together, or does it really not seem like they're that close?
Um, it depends on the year, I guess. Sometimes
Hmm.
they seem like they're super buddy buddies. Sometimes it feels like they're more friends with Tobertech than each other, which is kind of interesting. But this year it's been pretty crazy because Revamped and Overcharged are in different leagues, and so I
Oh
almost think
wow.
that Revamped and Tober are going to end up being our alliance together because they just been running together. Like they completely wiped out our leaderboard for Oregon. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. There's always another team that could come into the mix. Um, but yeah, no, Revamped is always a very, very strong team, and they're just so versatile on the field. They're really, really good at their driving. Yeah. Okay, Sandra, why don't you go on to team number 14 then?
In the number 18 spot, there's team 19836 Hawk, soaring high from Ontario, Canada, with an impressive OPR of 158.9. Hawk has been dominant force on the competition field. Their recent triumph as the winning alliance captain at the Ontario Provincial Championship solidifies their status as a formidable contender. One of the standout features of Hawk's robot is their innovative intake design, utilizing a unique approach that still skillfully interacts with the bottom pixel off the stack. Like it just yoinks it from the bottom of the stack, which I think is super interesting. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, it's actually this match on screen is really interesting because it's Hawk versus Rock or ROC. So definitely interesting to see like how the two sister teams play against each other and the similarities and differences between their robot. But Ontario definitely has some serious competition with both of these. And as you said, with the intake, I'm a huge fan of like picking the pixels up off the bottom. I think it's a really consistent way to do it. And then also if you have like the arms that come in and push the pixels, it gives you a lot of margin for error as you can kind of use that to guide it. Yeah. Baru, have you seen a lot of teams do that in Romania, or is it more just like a top-down intake or a claw?
I actually did, yeah. So off the top of my mind, High Five Robotics, which I've talked about earlier, do that. Also,
Mhm.
19099 does that. They if you looked at the Bucharest League tournament stream, they're the TNT robot. It's pretty fun to watch. So yeah, and they do that
Yeah.
pretty well. I actually their intake works surprisingly well. So I think it's a lot.
Awesome. And Arjun,
Okay.
what about you? And
Yeah. So
yeah,
in
and
the
Arjun in New Jersey, do you see a lot of?
oh, sorry, cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead, Arjun.
Yeah, so kind of in the New Jersey area, I haven't actually seen too many of those types of teams that have like the picking the pixels from the bottom of the stack. Most of the teams here are really going for the surgical intake at the top and pulling off the top of the stack, or they're just rather knocking down the stack and picking up. So that's something pretty cool to see that what other teams are doing outside the state. I think it's a definitely be like effective concept. So yeah.
I see. I see. All right. In 13th place, we have Team 19746, the Disruptingly Robocephalic Brainstem Robotics team from Austin, Texas. They have definitely taken a more unique approach to this season's game with a six-wheel drive and a very wide robot, but it is working out super well for them. You can't argue with the results. They currently have the second highest auto OPR. They're top 25 in Teleop OPR and 14th by total OPR, right? So the numbers don't lie. They have a really, really great robot, and it's definitely showing its performance on the field. There is just so much to talk about with this team, and I hope we get to do it behind the bot again later this season. But the thing I want to highlight tonight is their deposit, just the number of degrees of freedom on it that they had to implement, and that they implemented so well so that they could pull off the six-wheel drive and make it competitive is really impressive. I see like now in this video that they have the potential to stack the pixels on top of each other vertically, right? So you can make like a kind of a tower that goes really high to get up to the levels. But I do wonder if they'll switch to a design that can drop both pixels at the same time, or if it can already do that, if they'll use that more in competition. But yeah, overall with this robot, I think I'm just really interested to see how it plays at high levels of competition, and if they're really going to use that six-wheel drive to their advantage, or if like more maneuverable robots will be better. Baru, what do you think? You're a driver, right, for your team?
Yes, I am. So honestly, this has been one of my favorite ideas from the start of the season. I was actually considering this too. I really like the idea of uh, doing some kind of side gun stuff and pairing it with a six-wheel drive because you get those advantages and don't lose the, the ability to place whatever you want on the backdrop. And also considering the fact that they use a six-wheel drive, I'm pretty sure they're the second highest auto PR in the world using a six-wheel
Yeah, they
drive. I
are.
think that's pretty impressive considering that it's not that easy to code it really well. We're really good autonomous
Mhm.
on a six-wheel drive. As far as I'm aware, I never tried it. So
Yeah, and as far as like a driving perspective goes, do you more prefer to like dance around robots and like maneuver around them, or do you think like you would like the idea of just bodying people with a six-wheel drive?
well, of course I would do that, but it depends on. I wouldn't do that if they're blocking my wing. I'd want to take pixels, but if they're in the middle of the field and I'm trying to get to the stage or to the backdrop, of course I would do that. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, Arjun, why don't we go on to number 12?
For sure. So at our number 12 spot, we have Team 14380 Blue Bot Builders. At the Australian National Championship, they walked away with finalist alliance captain and judges' choice award. This season, they had a very innovative drone launching design, which they shared throughout many teams and kind of gave that and kind of exchanged ideas with numerous teams. It was 3D printed and it worked very reliably and effectively. They released a series of videos on it as well. Their outtake was awesome to see in action and exemplified consistency and simplicity. Their robot really rose to the challenge, no doubt influenced a lot of designs this season. They set the bar high walking away from this season. No doubt next season they will set that bar even higher.
Yeah, we did a behind the bot with this team. Really, really awesome robot and really awesome team. Definitely hope to see them at MTI, CRI, or like another invitational. I know Australia has APOC, I think.
Mhm.
So seeing them there would be pretty cool. But yeah, Sandra, what do you think of this robot?
I think it's beautiful. I mean, I my team has always struggled with getting a robot to stay all of like a cohesive color, and so getting to look at that one up close is beautiful. Um, but
Yeah,
no, I'm excited to see how this one works out. I haven't seen this one yet.
gotcha. Yeah, and I think their sister team, I don't know the exact name of their sister team, but I know they're like all red anodized aluminum, so it does look super cool. But yeah, just great job from Blue Bob Builders always. So, Brew, why don't we talk about number 11?
Okay, so team number 11 is 19564, the Marvels of Mass, from Richmond, Texas. They have been constantly placing high in the monthly top 25, being a really strong team from the start of the season. The Robo continues to impress me. I love the idea of giving the pitch of the vertical extension compliance. It seems like it's just a lot harder for the drivers to mess up. That being said, the driving from this team is impeccable. Like they seem to be moving so swiftly and just know what they're doing at every point on during tail up. And they were one of the highest teams in terms of PR for a really long time. Yeah, definitely very impressive, and I'm really excited to see what they do in the future.
Yeah, and speaking of the future, Brew, they compete again this weekend. So
Oh,
I am really, really excited about that because it's been, I think, like 6 or 7 weeks since they last competed. And when we did the behind the bot with them in back in November or October, I think they said they'd already built like 4 different robots. So having all of this time off, I really, really can't wait to see what they come up with for their league championship. Yeah, Arjun, what do you think about them?
Yeah, for sure. I think Marvels of Mass really kind of inspired a lot of designs as well, same as bot builders, and they kind of like were setting the stage for the start of the season. I think no other team was even coming close at the start, so they really hit the ground running. I think at the start of the season, it's really amazing to kind of see them evolve and progress from where they were. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Sandra, why don't we start off our top 10 then?
All right, breaking into the top 10, we have Team 10355, Project Peacock from the heartland of Oklahoma. Well, with an OPR of 121.5, Project Peacock has been turning heads with their exceptional performance on the field. They recently earned the Inspire Award and also secured the spot as the finalist Alliance first pick at the Oklahoma Regional Championship. One of the standout features of Project Peacock's robot is the impressive intake mechanism. Sporting an incredibly wide and lightning fast design, they have the ability to swiftly pick up pixels with precision and efficiency, setting them apart from the competition.
Yeah, I mean, Project Peacock was at Worlds last year as well. I think they ended top four, I want to say, in their division after qualifications and did really well. Did well in elims as well. So excited to see them coming back. They're always a really strong team, and I think they're always like build very very good robots. And they're very solid, and just don't break, and they're super consistent in matches, which is very nice to see. Yeah. So going on to ninth place now, we have Team 15972 Technozy from Romania. They currently hold the non-penalty world record at 372 points. Brew recently did a fantastic behind the bot with them, so I definitely recommend watching that after the stream. And I think the most important thing teams can take away from Technozy is how important driver practice is, right? Like we'll put up the match video in just a second, and watching them on the field, they're just so fluid, right? I was talking earlier about how teams are able to pick up pixels from different parts of the field, but when Technozy does it, it's just on another level. Like they are super smooth with it, and it's just instant. And I think their driver skill and of course like a really good intake like they have definitely helps them being so high ranking and setting the world record. Baru, what do you think about them?
okay, this team impressed me a lot. They were even at the I think what is the most competitive league in Romania, their league tournament, they were dominating in the finals, which is just incredible. There's so much ahead right now, and yeah, they're pretty impressive overall.
Hmm. Yeah, it's pretty insane how competitive Romania is. I think, not I think you guys are definitely one of the most, if not the most competitive region in FTC this season, and like having only 4 slots for Worlds is going to be really tough. But it's definitely the 4 teams that do come out of Romania will definitely be very competitive, no matter what. So I can't
Yeah,
can't wait for Romania nationals. Yeah.
me too.
All right, Arjun, you want to go on to number 8?
Yeah, for sure. So with number 8, we have 111260 Upgrade Robotics. At the Colorado State Championship this season, Upper Creek walked away with inspired third place Innovate and finalist Alliance captain. This year, they showed consistency and smoothness as a robot overall. Their dual pixel depositing mechanism was smooth, and placed pixels on the board gracefully and with speed. They had very few failures and were shown to be very effective as a team. Their team is very unique with their transfer mechanism and the way that the team adapts to varying distances when depositing the pixel. As the season ended, they should feel proud for themselves for making such a graceful robot, and no doubt will come back stronger, learning from this season and moving on to the next season.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate that Upper Creek wasn't able to qualify for Worlds this year. You know, they've been in the grand finals at Houston for the last 3 seasons that there hasn't been a championship at Houston. But this year, definitely a fantastic robot as always. The software, I think, is really, really impressive. You know, they were showing off their automatic depositing and how it detects which colors of the pixels that they're intaking and then determines what's the optimal depositing location and puts them there. So just really, really cool stuff. I know definitely very strong contenders for the control award if they were there. Yeah, Baru, Sandra, what do you guys think about this robot? Sandra, why don't you go ahead?
Well, I'm just sad. Hadn't heard about any of like the auto placing stuff. That's fascinating. Um, it is sad that they won't be at Worlds too. My brother told me, and I was so sad.
Yeah. I mean, I know they go to CRI every year, at least for the past couple of years they have. Hopefully, maybe this year they can also come out to MTI. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Buru, what do you think about Creek?
I honestly, I find it hard to believe that it didn't go with the turret and arm again, but yeah, it's a pretty cool robot. It was pretty cool to see it on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, why don't we go on to number 7 then, Buru?
Okay, Team 17962 Road to D2 from Ploy Romania comes in the number 7 slot. This team is personal favorite of mine. They seem to have mastered the art of optimization this year. They only use 6 motors. The robot is incredibly light and as a consequence extremely quick on the field. The lift is powered by only 1 motor, so their outtake is also really light. And their climbing mechanism shares the motor with their intake through a power takeoff mechanism. That's also really interesting. Everything is so well thought out, and yeah, Proto builds amazing robots. I can't wait to see what they bring to the national championship. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. So I guess, Buru, my question for you is: do you think they'll rebuild, or do you think they'll keep the same robot for Romania nationals?
Oh, I I already know the answer to this question, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they want me to share anything. So
Okay. Yeah. No. I guess we'll just wait and find out. Yeah. Okay, Sandra. Why don't we go on to number 6 then?
Sounds good. In number 6, we have 6272 Iron Eagles Prime from Texas. With an impressive OPR of 156.8, Iron Eagles Prime has been a force to be reckoned with. Their recent triumph at the winning Alliance first pick at the Central Extreme League tournament in Austin solidifies their position as a powerhouse. One of the most intriguing aspects of Eagle Prime's robot is their innovative claw mechanism. Their clever design allows the claw to flip around within the robot, seamlessly transitioning between intake and outtake functions. This versatility gives them the advantage of never picking up more pixels than allowed. Keep an eye on this team as they continue to soar to new heights.
Yeah, I think I'm now, or not now, just realizing, but the fact that Iron Eagles Prime and 19746 are from the same league is definitely a little scary. I think, you know, for other teams and themselves. I mean, if you have to play each other in a competition, that's always pretty nerve wracking. But yeah, definitely a fantastic robot, super super smooth. Can't wait to see how the rest of the Texas competitions go for them. Yeah. So with that, we're gonna take a quick break and draw for the winner of our first giveaway, start another, and hear from our show sponsor. So, Tyler, why don't we do that?
Yeah, let's draw for the hooded sweatshirt from Annie Mark. Once again, the keyword for that one was 20 years to celebrate Annie Mark's 20 years in business. It's crazy to think that they've been around that long, servicing and helping out the community. So thanks a lot to Annie Mark for the awesome giveaway. The winner for that is going to be Parkour Dinosaur 58. Congratulations to you. Make sure you send Fun Tyler a message on Discord or email admin at firstupdatesnow.com with all your information, including shirt size as well too, so we can get that out to you. So thanks a lot to Andy Mark for that awesome giveaway. And we're going to start our next giveaway right away, and that's going to be from our friends at Send Cut Send. If you're not familiar with Send Cut Send, they are the most highest rated sheet metal and laser manufacturer out there. You can get some really cool stuff. I know a lot of FTC teams are starting to use Send Cut Send to get awesome parts for their robots. All first teams, by the way, if you go to sendcutsend.com/fun, all first teams are eligible for 20% off all orders. It is only for first teams out there, so hopefully you are interested in doing that. But if you like a $50 Send Cut Send gift card right now, type laser in chat. That's your keyword in order to win, and we're going to draw for that one as we get close to our number 1 team. And before we go to our number 5 team, let's thank our friends at Kettering University for the continued support of Fun. Kettering University, a fantastic university for those looking for a place where so many people go there that were in high school robotics. Over 30% of their student population was in high school robotics. They have a FIRST Robotics Center, combat robotics team, esports area as well too. And those who apply for Kettering University that are accepted are eligible to get a $5,000 scholarship through the robotics scholarship as well too. And that's per year as well. So head on over to kettering.edu/first to see if Kettering University would be a great fit for you. I'm going to be out there in just about 2 weeks for the FRC event out there. So really looking forward to heading back out to Kettering once again. And thanks again to Kettering University for their continued support of Fun as we get into our top 5.
Awesome. Yeah. And Tyler, just one more thing. I know we said anybody, a random voter from our 225 for this month will win a $50 Send Cut Send gift card. So I think we need to draw for that as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, I did pre-draw. Thank you, Abbas, for the reminder on that. That's going to be Davi, D-A-V-I, from FTC 18661. So I will actually send you an email because I have your email because for those who submitted on there. So thank you to everybody, by the way, for all your submissions. And we'll see. We'll probably continue to do that as well, too. So yeah, that'll be for a $50 Send Cut Send gift card also.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, with all of that out of the way, let's start off our top 5. In 5th is Team 16166, What's Up, from Romania. They're also currently ranked 3rd in the world with the 7th highest tally-up OPR. They were on the current world record alliance alongside Technosy, who we talked about just a few minutes ago. And with What's Up, I think the thing to really focus on is their ability to manipulate pixels on the backdrop. They just are so fluid with it, whether it be moving pixels that are misplaced from autonomous, or they could just be in a better location to score a mosaic, things like that. I think their deposit is suited really well to that, and they've also done the necessary driver practice to implement that. So it's really, really cool to see. Yeah. Well, furthermore, on their deposit, I think it's really interesting how their claw works with the deposit. It looks like their transfer is that they pick up the pixels on the outside and then kind of drop them into a spike or something on the inside that holds the pixels from the inside. And it's definitely working super well for them. So I'm happy about that. And I'm interested to see how they interact with their partners as we continue to go into the season. So, Baru, being a driver and on the drive train, are you guys comfortable with intaking pixels that are stacked on top of each other? And do you think a lot of teams are, or will it be like a problem if you're trying to be on an alliance with a robot like What's Up?
Oh, so there definitely are problems with intaking pixels one over each other as if you have an active intake. So you have to design around that, but it's not that hard to do. And actually, with our new robot, we're gonna be really comfortable to anything in any ways, especially one over each other. So we tried to make that also work pretty well. So yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty important to be comfortable with every kind of intaking style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think another thing that I'm realizing now is that since you're allowed to have up to 6 pixels in the wing at a time, I think that definitely helps. Because you can place 2 stacked pixels for Team A, and then for Team B, you can just put them side by side and still have a little room left over for if you knock over the pixels or just don't want to pick them up anymore, and things like that. So definitely nice. Yeah, Arjun, why don't we talk about number 4?
Yeah, so at our number 4 ranking, we have Team Hyperion 9614. They walked away with Inspire's second place Think Award and were first pick for winning lines in the Santa Carla number 2 qualifying tournament. Their outtake is linear slides and moves at a very fast and efficient fast rate. It deploys just in the right time and right where you need it to be. And depositing pixels with their pixel depositing mechanism focuses on consistency and reliability. Their intake comes to the game with speed and versatility and shows you numerous angles and taking in the game elements. And their autonomous is undoubtedly their biggest advantage, and being the star of the robot, with examples of their 2+6 autonomous rotation showcasing efficient pathing to deposit. And especially, they also have numerous examples where they kind of spit out if they accidentally intake another pixel. So I'm very curious to see how they manage to do that. And beyond the bot, maybe in the future, it'd be awesome to see. And they also lose very
Yeah,
little time because of all these advantages.
yeah. I mean, Hyperion is going to be competing this weekend, I believe, for a ticket to Houston. So definitely interested to see if they're able to come out of NorCal. It's always a super competitive region, and I'm glad it'll hopefully be streamed this year. I know NorCal, like getting the streams out is always kind of tough, but looks like they're set up, so that should be nice. Do you guys think Hyperion will be running the 2+6 in competition, or it won't be like adaptable enough for a partner? What do you think, Sandra?
Well, it's hard to tell. Autonomouses can be so finicky. It
Mhm.
entirely depends on how solid their base code is, or if they have any like robot avoidance in their code. I'll be super curious to see if they end up running it though.
Yeah. Buru, what do you think?
Okay, so I think it's definitely possible to run a 2+6 with some partner auto. Just because partner partners start off at such different locations on the field, it it leaves room for a lot of it leaves room for a lot for synchronization. So you can easily deposit your preload when your partner isn't there, and then the the cycling part is harder. But a 4+6 is really strong and could probably win any match. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. One thing I am surprised about though, I thought we'd see more teams from NorCal on the list this month. I feel like there haven't been too many. So, to all the California people out there or people in general, you don't have to be from California to vote for those teams, but definitely missing some of the heavy hitters from the NorCal region. Yeah, I think that could also just be a function of not too much footage coming out of there. But after this weekend, I'm sure we'll see a boost in those teams. Yeah. Okay, Baru, why don't we go on to number three?
Okay. So now entering the top 25 is team 19043 Stylish from Yashomania. This is actually my team. We are currently number 1 out of PR and number 9 overall of PR. Okay, so for our 3 league we took part in with our last robot, we had a really consistent +5, and I think that's one of the things that really put us up there. We're number 1 in our league, and yeah, I do. Okay, we went undefeated. I'm not sure I mentioned that. I think our highest scoring competition is 296, and at our second league meet we had uh 3 2+5s that ran, 1 2+3, and 2 interference solos, which got us a 2+3, I think. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm really proud of our autonomous, and for our next competition on March 8th to March 10th, we are gonna come up with a new robot, and it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah, so I think we've talked about you guys a lot for the past couple of months. I think last month you were number one, if I remember correctly. So we had a long discussion about that. But Romania is, just such a tough region. I've mentioned it a couple times tonight already, but I think it's really important to emphasize. So Baru, at this next competition that you guys have, is it going to be like with the same teams that you've competed against so far this season, or will there be new teams there?
There are a few teams that haven't participated in any of the league meets we took part in, but yeah, it's mostly gonna be the same teams. There are a few really strong teams that I haven't got a chance to play against, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's gonna be fun.
All right, yeah, let's see it then. Okay, Sandra, why don't we go on to number two?
In the second spot in our ranking, we have 2172 Technical Difficulties, representing from Austin, Texas. With an outstanding OPR of 182.8, Technical Difficulties has been setting a high bar on the competition field. Their recent accolades as the Inspire Award winner and Winning Alliance captain at the Fit North U to the Power 2 tournament further solidifies their reputation as a dominant force in robotics. One of the standout features of Technical Difficulties Robot is its robust autonomous mode, capable of grabbing 4 extra pixels from the stack with precision and efficiency. Their speedy intake and precise claw mechanism contribute to their remarkable performance on the field. An innovative aspect of their robot is the arm mechanism, which boosts versatility and adaptability. While its default position is horizontal, it can pivot effortlessly to reach the higher set lines, adding an additional layer of strategic advantage to their gameplay. Keep an eye out for this team as they continue to overcome any technical difficulties in their future.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited about this team. Always have really crazy robots. And one thing I want the audience to know is we will be recording Behind the Bot with them very soon. So, I'm excited to record it, get it out there. Everyone can learn more about their robot. But in the meantime, I think they've done it again. A very, very impressive robot. Definitely a little less out of the box, I would say, this year than previous years. But that may just be on the surface. I feel like in the background they have a lot of really neat things going on. So I'm excited to dive into it. Yeah, Arjun, what do you think about this robot?
Yeah, I honestly I love technical difficulties as a team. I think they're always like a really inspirational force. I love the robot this year as well. I think again, like kind of it emphasizes those key points that we're seeing with a lot of robots so far, really efficiency, speed, reliability. I think those are some of the main points we're seeing most of the robot designs focusing on. And I really just love to see this one in action. The color scheme is amazing. I wish I could do that on my robot, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. So, in that case, taking home our number one spot for our February FTC Top 25 is Team 16379, the Kooky Bots from Sammamish, Washington, going 9-0 at the Washington State Championship and ending as the Winning Alliance first pick and Control Award recipients. They punched a ticket to Houston. They now have the second highest non penalty OPR, aided by their newfound endgame capabilities. More important than their non penalty OPR, in my opinion, is their teleop. They currently have the number one teleop OPR with one entire cycle more than second place, who is technical difficulties, and the top two teleop averages 10 points more than third place. So with them, I mean, they're just so smooth, versatile, fast. Everything we've been talking about with the other teams tonight, it's really just taking it to the next level in teleop. And I think one factor about them that's really underrated is the height and the size, but more so the height. I remember at Washington State's, there was a match, I think finals match 1 or 2, where they were able to go through the triangle part of the truss, like that you can see in the middle of the field where the green robot is right now, Turtle Walkers. They're able to go through it sideways because there were robots or team markers and things like that all around, and it just things like that, like small cases like that, really help so much in making them super consistent. And of course, their mechanisms just being lightning fast. I think we've talked about them a lot this season already, doing a behind the bot very early. But what I want to focus on now is Worlds. Now that they have about 2 months to prepare, what do you guys think they'll do? Buru, do you think they'll keep the same robot, rebuild, or just make some small changes?
Uh, okay, so I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question again, but one thing I really want to focus on is the fact that they are so good at making mosaics. I don't think that I've seen a team better at this than them. You can really see that they really emphasize the direct practice this season, and it's working out really well for them. I love it.
Hmm. Yeah, Arjun, what do you think? Like in their situation, would you rebuild or like keep the same robot?
Yeah, for sure. In this situation, I think what I'd focus on is really the drone and the hanging aspect of the game. Their telescopic slides are already pretty solid as a whole. So I think those kinds of small improvements to put them over points, because again, I think personally at Worlds, it's going to be more of a point for point type of competition. We're going to see a lot of, people losing games based off just the drone and all that, because once you get to
Hmm.
such a high level of competition, it's really hard to tell what's going to happen. So I think they're probably going to work on refining their hanging and their drone to make that stuff a little bit more, usable and more consistent as a whole. I think that's really where the points are going to be gained and lost to kind of push you over the edge.
Yeah, Sandra, what do you think?
I mean, there's always auto consistency, making sure that
Mhm.
everything works in every lighting and uh, robot ways of avoiding your alliance partners and non-alliance partners. So I think they'll probably add a couple autonomouses and
Yeah. No, as far as the auto stuff goes, I know at Washington State's they were detecting like where their partner placed the yellow preload, so they'd always place it in the other location, and so they were able to get like the yellow preloads always at states. But definitely, you're right. Improvements can be made for Worlds, and I'm really interested to see if they can do 2+6, 2+8. I don't know, maybe 2+10, but that's a big ask, I think, for this season. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait a little bit and see. So with that, we're going to wrap up our February FTC Top 25. What teams do you guys think deserve to be in the top 25 that weren't? Let us know in the Fun Discord or comment on the YouTube video. And don't forget to vote each month for FTC Top 25 next month. And one more thing before we end for the night is, as we get into the later season, we're going to have our reveal night coming up before Worlds and our pre-World shows and all that. So stay tuned. It's always amazing, and this year is really going to take it to the next level. So Tyler, why don't we do our giveaways, and then we'll close out for the night.
Yep, we're going to be drawing for a giveaway from Suncut Sun. Once again, don't forget that all first teams, when you go to suncutsun.com/fun, get 20% off their orders. This is it's a really big deal, by the way, because Suncut Sun very rarely gives discounts, but super fast shipping, they get your stuff done quick, and free shipping within the U.S. as well too. Laser was the keyword for that, for a $50 gift card, and it's going to go to DGG Wolf. Congratulations. Please, once again, send an email to admin@firstupdatesnow.com or send a Fun Tyler message on Discord for that. Thanks a lot to Suncut Sun and AnyMark for the awesome giveaways today.
Okay, Sandra, you want to start us off with the ending?
alrighty. Thank you all for the follows and subscriptions we have received today. Don't forget that you can help support the channel through YouTube. Join to gain access to exclusive benefits. We hope you enjoyed this episode of FTC Top 25. If you want to stay connected with the First Updates Now FTC is doing, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X under @FUNFTC, and join our Discord through the link in chat.
Yeah, on behalf of myself, Baru, Sandra, Arjun, and our producer Tyler working behind the scenes, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Please keep an eye out for future new FTC content coming out on YouTube and new live shows. With that, good night, everybody. Bye.
This video on Fun is brought to you by viewers like you and also in partnership with the following. Discover how Kettering University students engineered their success with Kettering's amazing co-op employment programs where students earn great pay and gain valuable experience. Those accepted into Kettering University can apply for a robotics scholarship, providing up to an additional $5,000 a year in tuition assistance. Head on over to kettering.edu/first to learn more and apply. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Most live shows can be found on the First Updates Now YouTube channel, live competitions at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow, and join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. Check our other social offerings on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.